have seen that one coming.
Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Faceless Void.
Dire team pick.
Vengeful spirits.
Dire team pick.
Hello guys and welcome to
seconds
WePlay Season
remaining.
3. We'll get ourselves into the draft. My camera is deciding not to work, so you
5
can't see my
seconds
ugly mug, you
remaining.
can't see my pretty face, whatever you think it may be, but we do see these lovely teams. Signature.Trust going
Reserve
up against
time.
Mineski. We're kicking off our day today. We start off with one SEA best of one. The next best of one, Mineski against Execration, has been postponed, so we'll have a break between this one and our European games, unfortunately for that. But yeah, we've got European games later, CIS, EU West, and then some America's games later on tonight. So without further ado, let's get cracking. Welcome my co-caster, Heen. It's been a while. It's been a couple of days. How you doing?
Yeah, it's been some
Radiant
canceled
team
and
pick.
holidays, I guess. The SEA region, a lot of the players probably celebrate Lunar New Year. But we're back now.
Chen.
Mineski, I was sort of worried for them after their
Dire
worse
team
than
ban.
average performance at MDL, but ever since they got back, they've been wrecking. So I'm expecting Mineski to win today against Signature.Trust and
team
Execration. But you know, you never know. It might be like a honeymoon phase. They're a big tournament.
Yeah, true. They went 0-8 at MDL, but currently they're sitting at 7-0.
Dire
7 wins, 0
team
losses in WePlay Season 3. Of course, all against Southeast Asian teams, but they are currently unbeaten. And just a quick rundown, actually, of the group stages. MVP and TNC, 5-3, 5-4. Taring, 3-0, so plenty of games for them still yet to play. While Redemption and Trust, 3-6, 2-6, with
Dire
Execration down at the bottom at 0-6. Fnatic have not yet played any games. They are 0-0. So we're still yet to see how they're going to perform and how they're going to be doing. But yeah, the draft looking pretty interesting, honestly. Vengeful Spirit, Drow Ranger opener for Trust, while Mineski go for the Faceless Void Chen. Queen of Pain is being left out in the open. Gyrocopter is still there if they want to take it as well. It's a pretty open draft, I've got to say.
10
Even with
seconds
Lone Druid,
remaining.
Furion, Oracle, Invoker bans, there's lots to go for.
5 seconds remaining.
For sure, like the bands, the Oracle is the most unusual
Reserve
band here
time.
among the first phase bands. But I don't think I've seen a Drow opener in a very long time. I'm surprised that Signature actually went for the fast Drow pick. Because when I casted some of the European games, I've seen some Drow picks up, picked in the 4th or 5th turn.
Yeah.
And they still lost a lot of them. Like, I think fewer casting with me when it was like a drow against Lycan, and it wasn't like the drow didn't have a laning phase. It's just that like she just got completely wrecked. And that was like with a late drow pick. So with this early drow pick,
Mirana.
I really hope that Signature have like something in mind,
Radiant
because
team
otherwise
pick.
like drow is exploitable. We already have the Void, which is a really convenient gap closer for Mineski, and Chen is pretty good for against Drow as well, because Drow obviously doesn't have much AoE, and the early game aggression might kick in way before Drow's mid game potential comes into play.
10 seconds remaining.
Mirana picked up. It's even more interesting. I'm loving this.
5
I have no idea
seconds
where Trust are
remaining.
going with this draft, and honestly, it's going to be a
Is
case
it
of
like is it going to be a
Reserve
core
time.
Mirana? It would make some sense with the Drow.
I think so, but where would you put it? It's been a long time since we've seen offlane Mirana. I'm not sure. I guess they're keeping their options open. They could run Drow mid, Mirana safe lane, something like that. But we'll have to wait and see. I mean, recently Mirana's been run as that kind of roaming support, throwing arrows, jungling a little bit even. We've seen some semi-jungle Miranas killing like the offlane camp with arrow and getting to a quick level 2 or 3. Actually, I think it was TNC that were doing that, messing around with that one.
Yeah, that's such a DNC thing to do. Roaming around the map and killing people. That's what TNC does. They have a DTNC draft. I think of is like when AU and the other guy. Anyway, when they play like these roaming like bounty hunter, earthshaker, disruptor supports that don't really need level 6, but you can just go around and well-timed ganks, destroy all the lanes, like destroy this lane, move on to the next lane, just snowball out of control. But this is Signature we're talking about. I think Signature is more, how do you say, structured than TNC.
Yeah.
Not that TNC don't like some kind of plan in there. They have a draft and how they push the game, but Signature to me is like a very mid-game centric team.
Dire
Mirana,
team pick.
it's like you either hit the arrows early on or you don't, so it's like a hit or miss. I'm surprised that they went for the Mirana approach, which, I mean, can't say it another way. Whether you hit an arrow or not, is a lot of it is skill, but you have to admit a lot of it is also luck as well.
Got to have the Ice Frog God sitting behind you, allowing those arrows to hit.
10
Well, Mineski,
seconds remaining.
support pairing is going to be the Rubik and Chen. Got some very good
5
lane control
seconds
power here,
remaining.
and when you're looking at Faceless Void in the off lane, sure enough, you'll have Drow Ranger and Venge to kind of right-click him
Reserve
down
time.
and burn through a lot of his regen. But he can always dip back into that jungle if he wants to with the Iron Talon. I want Signature.Trust to really, really focus very early on warding up enemy jungle, because Mineski have this fallback plan, which is just farm up neutral creeps. Oh, here we go.
Radiant
It's
team
gonna be puck
pick.
mid. I think this does just move Mirana into the support role. It feels like Drow safe lane, puck mid, Mirana Venge your 2 supports, and I kind of want, like we used to see with old Drow strats, that really sort of tanky, brawling hero that just jumps into a fight, like the Tide Hunter, the Centaur, something like that, that just gets in the way of people, so that these 4 ranged heroes with the Drow aura can do a ton of damage.
10
Yeah, I just hope
seconds
Signature
remaining.
don't fall into the trap of when you pick a Drow. Some
5
teams are
seconds remaining.
tunnel vision into getting 5 range heroes and get the maximum value out of Drow's aura.
Reserve time.
I don't think you need all 5 range heroes. Like, even times I think just one range core, usually a mid hero, is enough. The reason is, if you just get 5 ranged heroes, then you
10
basically have all
seconds
squishies, and
remaining.
ranged heroes tend to not be frontliners, so you get the situation where you have
Dire
damage
team back.
overall on your team, but no one really wants to be up in the front, and then Drow just ends up getting ran over by this Lycan, for example.
Oh, hey there. Lycan Chen, we've seen this before. Trust, wave clear. They've got
10
Puck, they've
seconds
got
remaining.
Starstorm from Mirana. They don't have a massive amount once it kind of hits 20 minutes, though.
5
It's going to come
seconds
down to
remaining.
laning phase, I think, here for Trust. Try and dominate these lanes and keep things under
Radiant
control. So
team
DP
back.
will get banned out. Don't want any more pushing power going the way of Mineski. They could pick themselves up something even more annoying, like a Viper, a Razor, something like that.
Dire
Well, it's the
team pick.
Broodmother that's banned out, which would have been great lane control here up against the Mineski lads. And there's nothing to really control up that Broodmother too much. What do you think is going to be the final hero here? Beastmaster is still out there. Tide and Beastmaster are kind of the two ones I'm aiming towards, but I'm not sure.
Every time there's a one position carry that can potentially have just free reign throughout the game, like
10
farm
seconds
or in
remaining.
team fights, it's just BKB, some control
5
for the
seconds
Lycan.
remaining.
I think the last time we casted the game of Drow versus Lycan just rushed a
Reserve
BKB,
time.
and had he gone for like a book, maybe they would have had more time to control the Lycan. But in this type of game, Venge Swap isn't going to control the Lycan, neither is Puckness, Agnan, so I really hope for like a Beastmaster or maybe even like some unconventional
10
heroes like
seconds
Axe, for example, even though Axe would probably...
Radiant team
They go for a
pick.
Tyrant, which is okay. It puts a lot of pressure on the Lycan and does, force him to go into a relatively fast BKB.
And it also pushes people back from towers if they really need to. While Mineski, what have we got? Lycan safe, Faceless Void off lane. It is 99% sure going to be a mid hero here for them to get picked up. What have we got
10
left?
seconds
There's heroes out there
remaining.
like Lina. Don't do too badly. But against a Puck
5
with Drought
seconds
Aura,
remaining.
I'm just wondering what exactly you aim towards. Zeus would be pretty good. Just try and stand back, get the
5
range
seconds
advantage over the
remaining.
Puck, get those last hits in there. But it is the Lina they do decide to go for. Oh.
Yeah, Mineski are not going to pick heroes. Like, the nature of this team is pretty offensive, so it's not surprising they went for the Lina. Not that Zeus would have been so bad, but the thing with Puck is that even with Drow Aura, I don't think Puck is a strong enough laner. Like, usually as a drafter, when you see a Puck and you're pretty sure it's a mid hero, you can be pretty liberal with what kind of mid heroes you... Ember Spirit can work against Puck at mid because by a poor man's shield. So the Lina, even with the Drow Aura, it should still be at least even, if not favorable for Lina in the early...
10 seconds
See
remaining.
how they fare up as all the players get themselves into their slots and into their heroes. What do we actually have for Signature.Trust? Let's have a look at this. So, Feymao, Vengeful Spirit, Jabs, Tide, Lakel's on the Drow Ranger, and Mypro Puck. And Boombell will be playing the Boots first
Prepare
Mirana.
for battle.
I really want to pay attention to this because if it's anything like the TNC roaming Mirana we saw in days gone past, you'll be taking advantage of some of these jungle camps. Actually farming up this offlane jungle camp with Arrow to try and get into that level 2 a little bit faster. Level 3. But initially it's going to be aiming towards mid. You're looking for the Arrows mid, which is why Mineski, they need to keep their vision up. But it's a full 5-man movement into this jungle. And it's kind of what I was saying. I expected Trust to go into this jungle as 5, some wards down to maybe block up the Chen's camps, but also the Faceless Void's camps. Void is likely going to have to back himself into the jungle at some point. Get him some kind of farm, but early observe wards down. We've got 1 obs for the rotation between jungle, mid, and honestly this ward spot is super good against Chen because you've got this this vision across like 4 different paths of where he's heading. Whether he's going to go farm, whether he's going to rune spot, whether he's going to mid, whether he's going to go farm. You just know exactly what the Chen's up to by his movements. While Radiant Observe ward is actually kind of interesting. Do you have any explanation for the ward that's sort of south of Roshan?
I think it's so that when the Tide, they have better room control on bottom.
Money to
prize!
So when they see Tide Hunter go for the rune, and can react to it and kind of flank him. Not even sure if that can rune or not. Based on the circle, like it does, but because a lot of the times when you put down a ward, you kind of think it's a rune, but and like unless you see the complete, like it looks like it covers a rune, but you can't see it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like you can see the spot, but you don't see the actual rune model itself.
But you don't actually see a rune up top.
Yeah, I get it. Find out. Oh, what have we got for Mineski? Down at bottom lane, Raging Potato Rubik. Jules on the Lycan. And mid lane, QQ's going to be playing that Lina with casts, of course. Chen jungling away. Being sure there's no courier sniper or any shenanigans like that, just dragging it across and microing the little birdie. While Jesse Vash is up alone on this top lane as Faceless Void. Already a good laning ward down here. But they'll know again exactly where the Faceless Void is moving. I think Trust, without sort of playing aggressively into this jungle area and placing sort of.
Get Boom Bell. He's gonna steal the.
Is he gonna
Oh,
get
what?
it? Oh god.
No.
Oh no,
Oh
Boom
my
Bell.
God.
Boom Bell.
He doesn't get
Oh.
how to leap.
Oh, he's fucked up.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
He's
what?
alive? Oh my god.
Oh,
This is
got
this is
fogged.
the clowniest stuff I've seen in a long time. Boom Bell, you okay here? Rana, run west, run east, run south, run north, run away, hide, try and deny to neutrals. No, you can't do that either. Marana, where are you going? Where are you going, buddy? Just throw an arrow. The skeleton up at the front is trying to block them out. The telekinesis is going to be there just about. I'll get the first blood over on the over on the Rubik. Oh man.
I came here to be tested.
We all knew what he wanted to do. He wanted to arrow the Dark Troll and screw up Chen's farm and his rotations. But in the end...
It was a worse creep to run into, and plus, I don't think it was really that necessary.
Well, that's a tragedy. An absolute tragedy already for this Marana. Boom Belt, already throwing arrows out. Make sure you don't give any more lives away. Gonna go hunt the Chen again. So instead of a bounty hunter up against this Chen, this Marana is kind of serving the same role. Making sure he stays on top of the Chen, leech some experience. Yeah, you're right, it was the worst creep, right? The skeletons came up, there was no way to arrow, there were two little trolls around as well. Boombell did get a little bit unlucky. Looking at the rest of the lanes though, Drow Ranger doing pretty well up at top as the Puck was middle lane. Outlast taking the Lina just a tiny bit, but might die here. There's a phase shift up in a couple of seconds, and they're ready to escape. Arrow dodged by the hasted Lina as well, but she's not done. She wants to cancel the salve, but again, good actions by MyPro, keeping the salve up without phase shift.
Is this a regular thing now, where Raging Potato plays support from time to time? It's not the first time I've seen him play support.
I think like 80% of the time he's playing, you know, the Juggernaut and stuff like that. It might just be a hero thing where he's not comfortable with Lycan.
I guess Jules is really comfortable in Lycan.
It's something that I've noticed with a lot of SEA teams is that they're more likely to switch up on hero-based situations than European teams are. Like European teams seem a lot more set on I'm the one role, I'm the two role, I'm mid, you're off lane. You know, sometimes they'll switch it up, but very rarely. Whereas SDA teams are just like, yeah, whatever, I'm better.
Top?
Yeah, Jesse Vash, he's
Got
being
silenced.
right clicked down and he's taken out.
Drow have one
That
less
gives Fei
enemy
Mao
now.
a little bit of gold with Drow Ranger as well. Well, how's
I
the
think he
tide
would have been
doing?
fine, but he just assumed that Val didn't have silence. And one of the things I did want to mention is that you mentioned the possibility of Signature blocking off the offlane camp, Ancients, Radiant Ancient. But I think Faceless Void realized that going against Avenged Drow, probably not going to get zoned out too hard, even though it's not best lane for Void. So, like him, he doesn't necessarily need to go to the jungle. He can leech EXP, and just now, if he kind of respected the possibility that Drow had silence, he would have lived and took more EXP. So that's really big that Signature managed to get a kill that just completely caught off Bash. At bottom, Chen, I don't know, I think he should be fine.
Got himself boots in the TP,
Actually,
jabs,
never
oh
mind.
he's blocked in. The Satyr
Might
comes
be in
across.
trouble.
A lot of damage here. With the nuke coming out of that Satyr, he's dropping low, but he's not dead just yet. He does have a salve as well. If he can get out of range, Cast doesn't have boots, so he can't keep up with the tide, so he is in fact fine. Walk himself away, in from the side. QQ's Lina wants a piece of this action. I think jabs, did he try to TP? Oh, he tried to TP out. Telekinesis is there and the Lina's coming across, but he's just sending them on a wild goose chase. Back and forth he goes, up and down and across, and he's good again. Did waste the
Oh,
TP.
he's swimming!
A taunt. Swim away down the river.
I don't think Mineski saw it. You have to swim where they see you.
There we go. They see him now.
Otherwise it doesn't count.
See him now.
But I guess the Drow Aura did kick in, and I underestimated it because Puck's definitely winning the CS war against Cuckoo. Even with phase shift, I didn't think Puck would be able to dominate Lina.
Oh, Jesse Bash is dead again. Up top, his time walk was on cooldown, so he must have used it relatively early on. the silence is Lakel's Drow Ranger with level 3 frost arrows. I was just looking at the puck and thinking, hang on a second, 9 bonus damage? That can't be right. We're 5 minutes in, that must be more. But Lakel's has gone for the 1 point in precision aura, just to get more harass onto the Faceless Void, which is obviously working out for them.
Yeah, I'm personally a fan of the way Lakel's is skilling this. Maybe not in all games, but... Oh, Venge. Email.
Are they dragging in from the side?
He's gonna TP in the trees and possibly...
Oh, Juke it. TP. Are you fine? The vision's there. Raging Potato. No, they've walked the wrong way.
Oh.
Sneaky little devil he is. And where's the Drow Ranger? Did she get herself out as well? Down the river she went. Well, they're rotating in. Full of heroes here. Boombell is ready. Level 2. The arrow and leap. Might be able to set something else up here for Lakel's, but it's down a bot lane where Jabs is bullying Jules, the Tide Hunter. He's equal in last hits. Look at his last hits as well. Oh, arrow flies across, but this Dream Coil, it'll snap onto QQ and MyPro. Could have gone in there with another orb, but you don't know who's sitting up on top of the cliff.
Gold for me.
Yeah, Tide level 6 with 25 last hits as well, man.
The laning phase is going surprisingly well for Signature.Trust. Not that they had weak lanes, but I don't think the Tide should have done like... This is almost like mid-level experience.
He's got an insane amount. Jules, no boots, just heading straight into the Vlads. I think he knows where Feimao is, or Feimao knows where he is, but no, look past each other. Wolves come out. They're setting up for something up at top, though. Rubik plus Faceless Void, they want to try and kill someone out, but it's Rubik that's found again. Signature.Trust just seem to be one step ahead. After that one death of Boombell, they've controlled everything up. Oh, the arrow going to get skipped away. This Void just time walks off it.
Max Frost Arrows. Going back to the point I was making, it was that Frost Arrows are... So many people are used to Drows not getting that arrow, but like 60% is pretty ridiculous. And once you hit level 6, the extra points and precision aura in the early game don't matter too much. It's like whether you get like plus 18 damage or 22 damage, you're gonna get a pretty sizable bonus at level 6 regardless. But with Frost Arrows, you can be a lot more aggressive, and people like Faceless Void or these squishy supports have to think twice about close to the Outranger.
It was a bit of an interesting battle at mid. MyPro took the Laguna Blade to the face, but they just ended up trading ultimates.
Dire's middle tower.
Still does have that DD up on this puck. No regen left though. Got to be a little bit careful about how much damage you're taking, especially when the Lina comes in and does that. MyPro will just go up and take top rune. He'll hope it's a regen, and it's going to be a regen! Of course! How lucky can you get? The RNG gods smile upon puck. Lina will only get a bounty rune. The thing is, the Radiant don't know this is coming. They think MyPro, you know, might have an invis, a haste, something like that. That regen sends him back up to full HP. So with this Chen over in the jungle, it's 8 minutes in right now and he's sitting at level 5. Not the best timing, just because of the rotations he's made haven't paid off, and he hasn't been sitting around farming to get to that level 6. Cast kind of has to... He kind of has to put on the pressure and, you know, definitely step up the tempo in the next couple of minutes. Get to level 6 and really start aiming for these tier 1 towers, because Lycan with the Vlads ready relatively soon, I'm pretty sure it's on the courier coming out, yeah. With the Lycan hitting that Vlad's timing and Chen hitting level 6, kind of feels like they have to do something with that. They have to go and take a tier 1. But Signature.Trust, they're ready. They have Tide Ravage. They've got 2 heroes rotating in as well. Boombell and Feimao, the Venge and Mirana, they're looking for the Lycan. He has his ultimate, but he'll get stunned up. The arrow is there and ready, but he tanks it with the Wolves. Good play. And decent MyPro keeps the Wolves in range. Yabs couldn't get there with the Ravage either. It's always going to be a difficult kill, but regardless, Jules gets himself away.
I think this is where Signature's draft comes into play, is that even though I mentioned that later on when Lycan gets BK'd, there isn't really much controlling him. At this stage in the game, I mean, definitely he's not going to have a BKB in. Seeing as how this Tide had such a good game compared to the Faceless Void, even if Void gets level 6, his lineup... Oh yeah,
Jules gets ravaged. That's all good.
Yeah, so I don't think these lineups synergize that well with Chrono in the early parts of the game. Feimao.
They wanted to turn and try and kill the little Rubik. Gabs wasn't on the same page. They do have the fucking Mirana coming in from the side though. And Mirana is just killing off these Chen creeps. Throws an arrow, Chen creep dead. Throws an arrow, Chen creep dead.
Dire's middle
One of the
tower
greatest
is
things
under
about this
attack.
new Mirana arrow, instilling these creeps.
Radiant's
A little bit
bottom
insane,
tower
but-
is under attack.
They definitely working up for Signature.Trust. Cast, he's just having a rough old time. He's got 1500 gold saved up, which is, you know, a minor saving grace. But the objective they're going to take here is the Roshan. They're not looking to push and pressure into these tier 1s. Even though Ravage is down, could have a
Radiant's
decent time of it.
bottom tower is under
We're going to
attack.
get some kind of safeguard ability, which is going to be the Aegis over on the Lycan, which they take from this Roshan.
Yeah, I think this is the right play over trying to defend this bottom tower, which was getting pressured way too hard.
Radiant's middle tower is
Basically
under
from
attack.
Rubik and not being able to zone out the
Dire's
Tide
top
Runner
tower
effectively.
is under attack.
And for the reasons I've mentioned, Void gonna make a huge difference in team fights. Uso possibly gonna know. I don't know.
He threw the arrow and I thought he was throwing it into the pit, but he threw it onto the large camp to kill off the red Hellbear.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Roshan gonna get sneaked here.
Roshan has fallen to the
They're also
Radiant.
taking Aegis. They'll also
Radiant's
find the
middle tower
Tide.
is under attack.
He doesn't have his Ravage up, but this arrow is going to land perfectly onto Rubik, and Jab is just tanking through it all. They'll try and send back Raging Potato, and it's just about going to complete as Jab is being shredded by the Wolfman. Not going to die just yet, and it's Puck on the back end is trying to jump herself in. Jules swapped into the Light Striker raid, good onto 2, but the mech from Jabs arrives. Perfect timing to heal his team up and continue the fight. The Chen did get killed off by the Puck in the back end, but the stun from Fei Mao and the arrow flying across. This will secure a kill on the QQ as well. Even with the stuns and damage out, Mineski is falling apart. They'll lose another. With a Rubik stealing out the Dream Coil, not going to be enough to save himself, nor his teammates. Fei Mao, oh, the wolf. The little wolfie. That's how we do
What he
it.
could have done, he smoked.
Radiant's
Oh,
bottom
tragic
tower is
stuff.
under attack.
Oh, with that one.
I'd say that's still a pretty big win for Signature.Trust. Basically that
Dire's top
Roche,
tower
I
is
mean,
under
Lycan
attack.
didn't lose the Roshan, but caught Mineski and use, you know, how much else, I guess.
Yeah, I guess the Lena dying is, you know, relatively good for Trust. I mean, the gold swing wasn't massive. It was actually Mineski favored in terms of gold gained. Trust did win kind of the XP battle, but it was all negligible. There wasn't anything massive about the metrics there. It was more about where you're heading with this game. You know, killing the Lena so she can't get this Yule Scepter in a good timing is going to be big. Because Drow Ranger, you know, we've seen her build. Treads, Aquila, Helm of the Dominator into the Asher. She's sitting at 845 HP. That's honestly nothing. The Lena can just go and solo kill her, even without Laguna Blade,
Radiant's middle
possibly.
tower is under
That's,
attack.
Oh, what?
Hang on a second.
Signature just
Radiant
smoked
structures
under
are
Radiant
fortified.
Vision.
And then,
at mid.
and then Lakel just walks up to the tower and says, screw it, I'm going to hit the tower anyway.
Dire's structures are fortified.
They might not notice it, but judging by how Jesse Vash and Tato are positioned, maybe they missed it.
Entirely possible. Get arrowed up here on the Rubik. That's going to just be straight up his downfall. The Void is going to try and TP away, and shouldn't have too many difficulties with that. Time walk into the trees, TP out. But down the bottom lane, Lycan takes the tower, and he's looking for another one here as the TP in from Puck.
Oh, he's so aggressive, but
It's-
it's Puck.
Lycan has Aegis. Puck can't really do anything here, even with the Blink Dagger up. You can try and blink in and Dream Coil
Radiant's
Jules,
top tower
keep him
is
in
under
health in
attack.
place, but nothing doing, nothing happening. Jabs even TP's down here with his
Dire's
big old
middle
Tide
tower
Hunter.
is under Radiant's top tower
Monstrous
has fallen.
Sea Leviathan.
Dire's
Looking to do
structures are
something, but
fortified.
it's gonna be Mineski pushing into tier 1 and trying to get as
Yeah.
many trade-offs as they can.
Signature definitely want to defend this, but I think they're too late because this tower's gonna give them so much better control
Dire's middle
to
tower
contest
has
Roshan.
fallen.
It's Drow against Lycan. Surely both sides really want the 8
Vanish.
abs. He has the mech. Oh,
Fei Mao is perfectly fine. Chrono wasted there.
traded for Chrono Laguna and a good trade for Signature, even though they did lose a tower.
Oh, so not only do
top
they have the
tower
Mirana
is under
Arrow to
attack.
kill Chen Creeps, but they've got Helm of the Dominator to steal Chen Creeps.
Oh yeah, they just need 2 more Midases.
This is disgusting. I mean, speaking of Midas, I want to pick your brain on this one. Lycan has bought one, and I cannot remember a time where Lycan has bought a Midas in a game I've cast before?
People used to buy Midas from time to time, I think. It was for games where, I mean, usually Vlad's is still, of course, by far more standard, but reasoning for Midas, I'm not sure about this game because more than anything, as long as he gets a BKB, he's golden this game. And it's not like getting level 16 is gonna make things a lot easier for this team, so my honest opinion is that I don't really agree with the choice to go Midas. It's on awkward timing as well. So I think, well, reasoning for Midas is on like, I'm trying to put myself in his shoes, is that he doesn't feel like the team's gonna be ready. Like even if he gets BKB, really thinks he's gonna get kited around, and his team's not gonna be ready to fight at the pace. So he's gonna go for a Midas to kind of like giving him an economic advantage while he waits for his team to catch up to him, because he's gonna ride for a while instead of doing a team fight.
Right now, there's nothing in it really, net worth or experience-wise. Both of these teams are pretty even though it feels like Trust have got themselves. You know, it honestly feels like Trust have got themselves massively ahead, but there's literally nothing in it. Mineski are now tipping over the net worth difference in their favor. The blink in, Micro, he's caught two here with that waning rift, but Jabs can't get into range for a good ravage. He's just gonna have to throw it at some point, but they're waiting it out, biding their time. Jabs gonna get nuked down. They can't kill him off just yet as he maxes himself back up to safety and health. And over on the side, Micro is battling out with Jesse Bash. Interesting initiation.
Doing good damage to the tier 2 at top.
Oh, QQ with the Yule Scepter looking for the kills. Even turned to get that gust out to stop the initiation. That's Mirana. You know, Mirana, who had that kind of awful start where she walked into a Chen camp and just died. Arcane's Matt.
Midas.
Sorry, Midas. Arcane's Midas.
Yeah. That's gonna be some nice payback against the Chen. I mean, it wasn't even really Chen's doing, it was her own doing. She kind of like self-destructed. But Mirana, the Midas is more understandable than the Lycan. Because Mirana as a support really struggles to get levels. And we see a smoke rotation by Mineski. Had enough.
Can you react in time? He kills the camp off just as they get revealed moving forward. See, that smoke doesn't pay off. Once they draw on the map, let's move ourselves across and maybe smoke up on our own. They have one. No, they're just gonna Moonlight Shadow into this.
Under Radiant Vision, though.
Ah, good point. That Observer Ward paying dividends for them. Catch anyone. There's another Radiant Ward up here as well. It's gonna spot them if they do come out of Moonlight Shadow. Yep, they'll see everything. Rana arrow, where's that flying across? Not gonna hit anything, not even a Chen creep this time. But Mineski, they've kind of drawn this out. They're dragging to Trust across the map, so instead of farming, Trust have grouped up as 5. They've not really gained anything. And it's Lycan. He got that Midas, and now he's nearly got Necro 1.
Yeah, for sure, Mineski are being more efficient throughout the map. We saw Signature kind of make a lot of forced movements as a group. Part of how their lineup works. But at the same time, it's a lot of their advances have led to kills. I don't really remember a time where they moved around but didn't really achieve anything, so that's going well for them. And I think the big focus for the time being is going to be the next spawn, which is going to be anywhere from 1 to 3 minutes, I'm guessing. And Signature find when Roche spawns, like right away. I think they can basically take it for themselves or prevent Mineski from taking it this time around. The first time is pretty hard to anticipate. Like that time they were busy with the bottom tier 1 and it was such an early time.
On that note, Faceless Void has a chrono, so if they do go into the Roche pit, they've got that big Void ulti. Really, make sure that Signature.Trust get held in place. Now, combination plays. You have the Rubik to try and steal out things, like your Ravage, your Puck spells, and stuff like that. going to be down to the Lina to do as much damage as she can through that Chronosphere in onto these Trust heroes, because you're looking at the Drow Ranger still. 1100 HP is not a lot. Trying to build into what I assume is a BKB. I'd be very surprised if Lakels goes for the Yasha into Maelstrom, as these pings are just incessant. It's just pinging, pinging, pinging. Oh my god, stop! Stop pinging! Everyone's telling everyone else where to go.
I assume they're on Skype, but you know, pinging is nice to keep people focused, but not excessive pinging. And Lycan, is he gonna go down here? Let's see. I don't think it can land the arrow if Jules micros his wolves. So he's gonna use his wolves.
Swap. And
the wolves.
Wolves block the arrow, and now they can't catch him. Boombell gets lucky here. Maybe they can. He's gonna TP himself away. It's too late. Gone. Pro had the Dream Coil. Oh, he was actually pretty close to that. If he jumped and Dream Coiled, he would have had him. That's Jules will get himself away, and with Necro 2 now complete, 20 minutes in, this Lycan just care about anyone. All he needs now is a BKB.
He doesn't even want to go BKB. He wants to continue playing this way, where he just creates space for his team. Like just now, like the way Signature can gank him is pretty limited. So as long as he's careful with his wolves, and he can even later on spawn Necronomicons if his wolves are far away scouting, and basically Mirana's arrows are useless. And what I wanted to mention was Lakel's choice of going BKB is pretty odd for me, because Lina can eventually get an Aghanim's, and it doesn't really block anything other than non-Ags Lina combo and big stuff, which he shouldn't even getting lifted through just pure positioning. Oh, my pro.
Oh, they've got the Chrono on the back. They've already killed off one. Puck is dead. Well, Roshan is still being taken, but look at the Sentinel come in. Faye now getting slammed by Roche, gets taken out by the big man.
Oh my god!
And that's a pause. I was lagging a bit. I don't know about you, but
I was okay actually.
Interesting. Oh, like Trust having a bit of lag issues. Where is their Tidehunter actually? He's walking himself in.
Yeah, going to cover Drow. Drow's already hurt so much. This is...
What do they have
okay,
left?
so
there's
what's happening is Drow is getting harassed by this Chen, and he got bashed by the Roche and got chain stunned by these Centaurs. And what I fear for Signature is Jesse Vash is next to this Roche, and they can just time walk in and finish the Roche off with the Chen and take the Aegis, and it would be so bad for Signature. They'll have lost the puck. Drow may die unless Tide uses Ravage to safe ape. And this Mirana looks like she's in trouble as well.
Ping. Jesse Vash jumps on in. Lakel's is being taken down low, but it's a good Ravage from Jab, turning it back onto Jesse Vash, but now the Lina joins in. Lakel's is trying to finish off Roshan, but it's not going to be enough. He's just going to get taken out by the Lina. And QQ, even though you are being hit by Roshan, Jab, can you steal it? Nope, you're not going to be able to do that one. Arrow flies across. This Tidehunter is kind of trapped in the pit with the rest of Mineski. The blink forward, the jump around, and Jab is nuked down, stunned into oblivion, and taken out of the game. The Mirana will be able to leap herself away.
And meanwhile at top...
Oh my god, the racks have gone.
We didn't even mention the Lycan factor.
Well, that's just disastrous.
I mean, this only happened because it just happened that Roche happened.
Oh, swap back. They've caught Jules.
I mean, Jules is like such a happy man right now. He really care if he dies.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So they... Oh man. Trust,
Okay, so...
lose Roshan, lose top racks, lose a team fight with 4 people dying.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Boy.
Dire's
They were
middle
so
tower
split
has
apart too.
fallen.
When this first started happening was east side of the Roche pit, where Puck and I believe the Tidehunter, it was a Mirana out, and then got instantly killed by the Lina. They weren't in a position to respond to like each other, whereas Mineski have these Faceless Void blinks and Lina blinks. Chen's global heal to help each other, like no matter where they are, basically. But Signature had to be a lot more like organized in their movements. Like Tidehunter had to be right there with Drow. Venge had to be ready to swap Drow out for the puck. This game is like quickly gone out of control for Signature. They were fine until this Roche, I think.
Look at the goal. Look at the net worth graph. Honestly, it was like neck and neck. Signature.Trust had, I don't know, a 2,000 lead. They lost it. It came back. They lost it, and then in the space of what, a minute and a half, Mineski get themselves a 10k lead. The Roche steal with a team fight win with 1 Rax going down. They get themselves a 10,000 net worth lead over Trust. It's absolutely insane. That pushes Lycan up to what looks like very close. Wait a second. I saw him buy Metal Hammer and DKB recipe, but it looks like he sold the recipe before he died. Unless it's over in the base. No. It's like Lycan sold the recipe before he died and then lost out on some gold, but...
You might go for Dezo.
Oh really?
We've been seeing a lot of Dezo lately. Dezo AC, they rip apart everyone because everyone on Dire has pretty crappy armor.
No, I'm gonna join the party here. I'm gonna start pinging as well. I'm just gonna... Everyone else is doing it. I'm just gonna start pinging. Oh dear. Oh.
I think there are 2 types of excessive pings, like the happy ping, where like...
I fucking did it! I fucking did it!
Yeah, you just win a big team fight and you're just like pinging the enemy racks.
Oh no, the best one... No, it's like when you're on like 5 HP and you TP out and you ping yourself in Fountain, like, look at me guys, I TP'd out!
Or there's like the opposite frustration thing when the game is just gone really sour and... Or just, you know, not too happy about the way the game's gone, because... No, Signature, well, it wasn't like they were going to win. I'd say it was still 50-50. Drow lineups are supposed to have a net worth lead. And considering they were up against Lycan, like, they didn't have a huge lead, but they had a very good winning chance. But after that, well, the game got so much harder for them.
Lina ran very quickly into that Aghanim Scepter. Like you were saying, the BKB on Drow going to be close to meaningless if that Laguna Blade does hit the Drow Ranger. Well, Jesse Bash Crimson Guard up. Now, we've talked a fair amount about Crimson Guard in the past with like Minotaur strats and stuff like that, with the damage block being, you know, pretty damn good. Up against the Drow strat, the same kind of logic applies, you know? You're not being damaged as much. That block aura, or the block active up. Pro? So wait. This is where Mineski really get into their own, you know, tier 2's dropping, they're pressuring all 3 lanes, and Signature.Trust, they've got nowhere to go. They jump themselves forward aggressively, looking to try and fight as the stolen Dreamclaw is going to get turned around, but not yet. He silences the Ravage.
Such a good combo.
Jabs. He takes down 2 of them, but meanwhile, over on the south, bottom lane's been taken out by the Lycan. And this is where Mineski turn around and say, you know what, we're going to rip you apart, we'll take down your Vengeful Spirit, we'll keep on fighting, we'll run you over, you've used all your ultimates, and we've still got gas left in the tank as Jules, he is retreating out, gets hit by the arrow, but Nitro, oh, Boobel, you're right, he leapt forward, so now he's just stunned up with no retreat, no available escape. Signature.Trust, they lose a couple of heroes here, and they've got no buyback. This might just be a push up on the high ground to take another tier 3 in Rax. No chrono, they don't have that setup available just yet for the kills. Mineski, perfect position with literally all 3 lanes reaching this high ground to just walk up and hit buildings.
It's so much easier for Lycan to pressure the Rax, having done that first Rax so early into the game. Usually Lycans don't really build booster travel until later into the game, and only 2 lanes to pressure. It's gonna make Jules' movement so much easier.
Dire's bottom tower has been denied.
Well, this Chen, who had, honestly, a pretty rough time initially. The Midas, the Helm of the Dominator, the arrows, killing all his creeps off. Reeves and Aghanim Scepter is getting closer and closer. It's halfway, over halfway towards that one. And if they caught someone, they've found the Lina. Not sure exactly what she was doing so far up, but the blink is cancelled out and they will kill her off.
Now that you're
The kills with the Maelstrom now. BKB Maelstrom Yasha. Play a little more aggressively, I think, and it's all Trust can do. They can't sit back. They can't just be, you know, waiting passively for Mineski to push up on the high ground. They have to go aggressively into this. But Jules and BKB some TPs out. Nothing to stop.
I mean,
that.
my pro does have the right idea. He has Ags, means Ags the Lycan and swap with the Vengeful Spirit, and Lycan will be stunned. How many seconds? For a long ass time, 3 seconds and 0.5 seconds at later stages. So if the game gets to the point where Lycan has a 5-second BKB and Puck hits level 16, that means they'll have full BKB control, like somewhat, because like then you have to take into the factor that Eventual has to swap Lycan out of Dreamcoil. So she has to be in position and no defensive swaps for the Drow Ranger. But still, it's better than nothing.
Someone in chat asking why the Faceless Void hasn't gone Vlad's. Well, it's because the Lycan has one, lads. Faceless Void went for the Crimson Guard. You don't want to go for a second Vlad's. Not efficient, boys. Roshan, we'll find out when he's up in about 20 seconds. Don't know if the little pop-up is here just yet, but man should be up soon. And this is why Trust, they're all kind of grouping around Ancients, making sure all these lanes are pushed out, but also that they're not split and separated. It's this really awkward position, right? Where you can't go and split and separate because you're going to get picked off by Lina or Lycan. But you can't group up as 5 into a ball and just run at people because you're going to get chronoed by the Void, and then killed off by Lina and Lycan. So Trust have to be so incredibly careful with their movements and positioning, not just in team fights, but overall. God. Oh, I didn't see. Did he see? No, he didn't see them. Or they did. They did. The wolves.
Well,
yeah, the wolves saw them.
That was a dire ward.
I meant the Rubik, like sitting behind the trees. Maybe he catch a glimpse, but
I mean, did Rubik do that in full vision? Like, he didn't. Rubik didn't have vision of them, did he?
no, he didn't. But the wolves behind them did. All Lycan wolfies. I saw them coming in.
Yeah, looking back in hindsight, I think Signature had to be more careful about the execution. Like, we saw the fights where it didn't look like Signature, you know, it was at least even or slightly in Signature's favor. I mean, compare how well Tidehunter did early game to the Faceless Void. I think they could have gotten much out of it, especially because Void doesn't have any real synergy with the Lycan. The Lina wasn't really high enough level or had enough utility items to be enough as a single source of damage. And
oh, that's a big pro. Catches 2 of them. My pro just straight off the bat is gone. Opening his back, Fame out, going to get picked as well, but the PKD for QQ just allows the Lina to run through the fight with a buyback from MyPro, looking to run into this jab. Ravage has been pretty much wasted here. There's no follow-up from Trust. There's over in the back. What the hell is this Lina doing? It's not the Lina, it's the Lycan. Jules is chasing him down, kills off the Drow Ranger, now looks for the puck with a blink away from MyPro will be ready. And it's just pick off after pick off. Well, Lina gets jumped by the puck, but I think it's all over. Elusive as you are, you don't have enough damage to keep up with this Mineski team. Back to your point. So with the early mech, with the Arcanes on the Tidehunter, with the Drow Ranger getting a good start, with Puck doing very well in lane as well. No point to Trust group up and just go and, you know, death push into towers. They kind of sat back, right? Is this because they didn't want to trade with the Lycan? Like, if grouped up as 5, they go into like a 5v4, win a fight, take a tower, but Lycan still gets a tower? Or is this just...
surely, trading is not good. At least, like, they had to be more discreet about their advances for objectives, and basically they had to be, like, taking a tower before Lycan even realized what he should be doing, but what